Hi, I'm Niall from GulfStream Boat Sales. Today we're taking a look at a Beneteau Antares 10.80. She's just over 35 feet long. It's a Flybridge cruiser. It's got a beam of just over 11 feet and it's in absolutely fantastic condition throughout. The boat was built in December 1999. It was commissioned in May 2000. It was originally sold by Dickies in the UK. Current owners had the boat since 2004. There is approximately 300 hours on the clocks, and everything about the boat is just fantastic. I mean, the spec on it is excellent. It's loaded with gear. The accommodation is excellent as well. We've got a nice big bright airy saloon, and then down below we've got a forward VIP cabin in the forepeak of the bow with ensuite access to the heads. There's just one head on board, and then we've got a second separate cabin with a twin berth that converts into a double. This saloon area will also convert into an occasional double berth as well, so we've got a total of 6 berths on board. These Beneteaus, it's a shaft drive boat, so the engines are mounted just underneath the saloon floor here. And they're a semi-displacement cruiser with a really well deserved reputation as an excellent sea-going boat. They're really well balanced in the water, because it's on shafts it feels really planted, particularly whenever the conditions get rough, and it's just a go anywhere cruiser. You could it's perfectly suited the coastal cruising. So what we'll do is we'll take you through the different areas on board, show you some of the features, and you can see how nice this boat is. The aft cockpit of this boat then is nice and big. It uses the full 11-foot beam of the boat, and the boat has been designed with fishing in mind. So whenever you're fishing off the boat, the transom seat folds down clear, and you've got a nice big clear deck area to work from. Whenever you're sitting socialising, you can flip up the seat, and it just gives you a bit more of a comfortable area for relaxing in. One of the things that will strike you about this particular boat is the modifications that the owner has done to try and make his life easier whenever he's on board. Everything's been done professionally. All the extras and things he's had made have been crafted from high-grade stainless steel, and I'll take you through and show you some of them and what they're there for. They might not be to everybody's tastes, and you might not find that you particularly need everything that's here, but the beauty about them is that they've all been designed so that they're completely removable. So if you want, you could take all the extras and the modifications off the boat and just have a completely clear sort of deck area out here. Some of the things you'll notice is this is a stainless steel bucket arrangement that the owner uses to store all his brooms and boat hooks and paddles and things in. We've also got a stainless steel outboard engine bracket that he mounts his outboard on for his dinghy. We've also got, you'll notice this bar arrangement, the stainless steel bar work that goes over the top of the cockpit here. This is for a complete camper cover that the owner had made, so you can enclose the canvas cover that goes from the top of the Flybridge right the way over onto the transom of the boat, so you can actually enclose the whole cockpit with canvas covers or side sections and everything. So I mean that is, I think that's pretty useful in this climate. It just gives you a bit more accommodation on board whenever the weather's not so good. But again, the bars are all completely removable, so you can take them down. You'll also notice we've got a couple of a bar going from the canvas support pole onto the handrail going forward. This is like an extra safety feature to keep you safe and secure as you're going forward on the boat. Again, it's clamped on the forward rail and it's clamped on here at the back, so you can completely take it off if you prefer. We've got our diesel fill points on the boat on the port and starboard quarters here. If they access them with a key. You'll also notice that the cleats are concealed in behind the gunnels with flare leads on the aft quarters, so everything, all the mooring gear is nice and chunky and solid, and again it's all about keeping the cockpit coamings clear, so you no hazards, tripping hazards when you're getting out of the boat and things like that. So This boat has a swim platform installed as well. We've got an opening door in the transom that takes you out onto the swim platform. Again, you'll notice there's quite a few modifications in this area. We've got a wraparound stainless steel rail that keeps you safe whenever you're out there. We've got a folding boarding ladder, 4-step boarding ladder, so getting on and off the boat's nice and easy. The owner's also installed I think there's 3 outboard engine brackets here, just for keeping different options for keeping your engines. Again, you can take these off if you find you don't need them yourself. They're just clamped on with simple bolts and washers, or bolts and nuts, sorry. We've got a stainless steel box here on the port side of the platform that you could use to keep equipment in, or a small generator, little petrol engine generator or something, if you want to give yourself 240 volts whenever you're away from the boat without going to the expense of installing a diesel generator. And we've also got a little sort of crane davit system. I think this is for slinging up the dinghy. Uses this. We've got a stainless steel barbecue underneath this cover here, which is a really good feature. And then you'll notice these bars that go from the platform up and over the top, mounted up onto the Flybridge rail. This is a winch system that is created for winching the dinghy from the water and storing it up above the cockpit. So there's a winch mounted on the Flybridge there, and what he can do is he can tie the ropes onto the dinghy and literally winch the dinghy the whole way up, so it sits overhead here, and it keeps it up nice and clear. If you don't like this system, and it's something that you don't want to keep on the boat, it'll come off completely. I mean, it's clamped onto the stainless steel rails there, so it will not leave any marks or anything. It'll just come off completely. And you will notice that there are snap davits on the platform there as well, so that's an alternative means of storing the dinghy, where you can just clip it onto the davits and swing the dinghy up. You'll also notice these stainless steel arms coming out from the back of the platform. Again, that's in conjunction with these bars. You can either keep the dinghy up on the roof section or slot it into the bars there. There is quite a lot going on around here, and one thing to bear in mind is that if you don't think that this is a perfect setup for you, you can unscrew everything and keep what you like, and you don't have to use what you don't like. So but I will say everything has been done to the highest quality. It's all well thought through, and they are workable solutions to some of the problems you find with whenever you're using a cruising boat and trying to make sure that everything's nice and easy to do. Access to the Flybridge in the boat is via the ladder from the aft cockpit, and we've got a closing sealed hatch, so for safety whenever you're up here you can close that down. We've also got a central helm position up here, which is great for, it's really usable. A lot of people buy these boats and think they won't use the upper helm position, but from experience I think it's a great addition. You know, if you're out fishing or even coming into the berths, gives you really good visibility all around the boat. The fact it's centrally located enhances that too. We've got full engine controls from up here. We've also got controls for the bow and stern thrusters on board, and we've got engine instruments and things as well in the sealed closable locker here. On the starboard side of the Flybridge, we've got a sunlounger, and there is a lounger cushion on board for that, so you can strap it down. So single sunlounger up here. There's not huge amounts of space up here, but it is a practical and usable Flybridge. You will notice, if you take a look just at the back of the Flybridge, this is the stainless steel winch arrangement for winching the dinghy up onto the frame, and the radar arch that's on here is completely collapsible. You'll notice that it's mounted on pins, so you can pull the pins out and the radar arch will fold down. This boat, being designed as a bit of a cruiser come sports fisher, the deck access all around is fantastic. It's really safe and secure to move around. Nice wide side decks, and then the foredeck itself is a nice big usable area. Everything's moulded non-skid up here, so it's safe underfoot, and there's lots of room to move around, whether you're just lounging around or whether you're fishing off here. It's a really usable space. This boat has fitted with a windlass with controls either from the helm or on the unit itself there in the foredeck. It's got a huge big anchor locker there. You can swallow up all your anchor and chain. You can even squeeze a few fenders and things in there. And it's also got life raft mounting arrangement here as well. So we've got a stainless steel cradle that'll hold a canister life raft. Cabin access then is through the three-tiered sliding door arrangement. It opens up nice and wide to give you access into the main saloon companionway here. In the main saloon, one of the things you'll notice straight off is that the visibility all around is excellent. You don't have any imposing bulwarks or anything, so it's really nice and light and airy. And whenever you're underway, the visibility all around is fantastic. It's a really nice place to spend time. On the layout is on the port side. We've got a U-shaped seating arrangement that you'll easily get 5 or 6 adults around. We've got a table, fixed mount table there that you can drop down, and with the cushions you can make that into an occasional double berth. On the port side then, we've got a nice sized galley area. We've got a huge long countertop there. We've got plenty of storage with cupboards above and below the counter, and we've also got a lifting section. So if we lift the top section out of the way, it opens up to reveal a sink with hot and cold water, an onboard stove and cooker, stainless steel, and we've got a fridge compartment in here as well. Forward of the saloon seating area in the galley then, we've got helm position on the starboard side, and on the port side we've got a twin wide navigator seat. We've got handholds here for whenever you're underway, and also a nice big covered chart table area. The helm position on board is really practically laid out. It's comfortable either to sit at or stand. We've got a little folding step here so you can raise your feet whenever you're sitting, or you can flip it up clear, and then standing is a nice comfortable position at the helm. In terms of the equipment on board, the boat's actually is loaded with gear. You've obviously got the full range of instrumentation for the twin Volvo engines, the KAMD44P, so 200 horsepower apiece. We've also got fore radar system and fore chart plotter and depth sounder, preloaded with charts for the north coast of Ireland. The boat is fitted with max power bow thrusters and a stern thruster, so you've got joystick controls here and also up in the Flybridge. We've got switch gear for all your sort of 12-volt systems here. We've got fuel tank gauges. We've got a water tank level gauge down here as well. Bilge pump controls, windlass control, wash down, searchlight, everything that you need falls readily to hand. And we've got the Volvo throttles here as well that are comfortably positioned. Above the helm position then, we've also got an Icon ICM59 VHF radio and a NavTech screen as well. One of the things you'll notice is that the owner has gone to the trouble of sticking up his engine revs to speed and fuel consumption chart. So I mean, this is a sign of a particularly meticulous owner, and it just shows us here at 3,950 to 4,000 RPM he's getting a speed of 28.7 knots typically. At that he's burning 29.3. His typical sort of cruising speed is around about 21 knots, and he's burning 17.2 gallons an hour. That's for both engines. So he's worked out his range, his safe cruising range here of 107 miles, and at 3/4 throttle they do 150 miles. So I mean, this is a sign of an owner who really takes care of the boat and is responsible about his cruising and all the rest of it, and good to see that type of thing. You'll also see on the gauges he's put little indicator dots at each of the sort of to show where each gauge should be reading, so we can see at a glance whether his temperatures or pressures are off where they should normally be. And I like to see this type of thing on a boat because it means that you know, the owner's conscientious and he's looking after his boat, and you know that if there is a problem, he's going to have it picked up and have it rectified, and that's really what we found with this boat. The service records are all there. It's been serviced and maintained meticulously. The engines have only run 298 hours, which on a 2000 boat is really not very much use at all. The current owners had the boat since 2004, and I think he's the type of guy who likes to look after the boat as much as he does use it, so it really has been meticulously maintained. I mean, it's a bit of an understatement even to say that. The guy has really been, you know, has left nothing to chance and has been totally thorough in making sure that the boat's in tip-top condition, and you can see that. I mean, everything here in terms of the equipment is all fully operational. All the gauges are working, the engine's running, and everything's temperatures, pressures, everything's perfect. And all the stern thrusters, bow thrusters, everything else is all fully operational. So I mean, you could buy this boat with confidence knowing that it's going to give you years of trouble-free use. First thing you'll notice about the engine bay is that it's pretty immaculate. For a 2000 boat, this is a tidy engine room. The engines themselves look great. There's absolutely no signs of any corrosion or anything untoward with them whatsoever. You will notice that the owner has a spares, you know, a selection of spares on board here, belts and impellers and things like that. Also, the layout of the engine room is well set up for performing your daily maintenance checks and things. We've got easy access to the fuel filters on a bulkhead at the aft there, and also your raw water strainers are easily accessible for visual inspection, or if you have to clear them. There's pretty good room between the engines for getting down to do more in-depth servicing work, and in combination with some of the access from the cabin on board, or from the guest cabin, means you can get easy access to the front and down the side of the port engine. It's a bit trickier to get at it from here, but access is good from the guest cabin on board. Coming down below then, we've got a handrail here and a couple of steps to get us down into the forward companionway. The master cabin on the boat is in the forepeak of the bow, and it's got a nice sized island berth. As you can see, this boat, it also comes with customised bedding with the name of the boat embroidered on it. So the cabin, you've got good access with steps up both sides to get onto the bed. We've got a couple of reading lights overhead, along with a few downlighters and an opening hatch in the deck. Storage in the cabin is really good, with a couple of lockers on port and starboard side, and also a nice big hanging locker here for getting your fileys in and out of the way. Same as elsewhere in the boat, the owner has had custom carpets made for the master cabin as well. One other thing to point out about the master cabin is that we've got ensuite access to the heads as well. Off the companionway then, on the starboard side, we have the heads unit, which is quite big. We walk into a little vestibule here, which is storage on the countertop level and also underneath. We've got obviously a sink with hot and cold running water and a nice little vanity mirror there. Separate to that then, if we come into the heads, close the door, gives us access then into the actual toilet compartment and heads, a shower unit, sorry. So it's got a fixed shower in here, and we've also got a couple of opening portholes for ventilation. On the port side then, off the forward companionway, we've got the second cabin. So access is good. We've got full standing headroom as you step into the cabin, and quite a big area actually of headroom here. And then we've got a twin berth arrangement. You'll also notice this boat does have the filler pieces, the wooden panels that slot in between the beds, and then this the cushioned backrest here doubles up as a filler cushion to make that into a very big double bed as well. You notice a couple of reading lights above both berths, and there's lots of storage in here too. We've got storage down along the left hand berth and a little shelf above that, and we've also got a hanging locker on the way in here too. So there you have it. Hopefully that will give you this will give you a good idea of the condition that this Beneteau Antares 10.80 is in. I mean, even though it's 2000, it's coming up on 12 years old, the boat really does, it looks like it's about 3 years old. Everything's perfect condition. The engines are starting first turn of the key, the engine room's immaculate, all the equipment's fully operational, and it's it would be a fantastic buy. It's priced really competitively, and it's going to be an absolute bargain for whoever gets the opportunity to buy this boat. It's difficult to get across everything that's on board in a short video, but hopefully it gives you a good idea. But I'm sure if you're thinking about the boat, you're going to have questions, or you're going to want to have things checked out or whatever. So please don't hesitate to give us a call or drop us an email with any questions you might have, and we'd be delighted to help you out. Thanks for watching.